Hello everyone, this is Duker from the Garage Journal Forum. I thought I'd create a little video of my welding table build. I got a few inquiries regarding kind of the size and scale and some of the features that I put in the table, and trying to get maybe just a little more clarity from the foreman, so I thought this might be the easiest way to walk you through the build. Maybe kind of highlight some of the things that I found when I was building the table, you know, pluses and minuses. I'll give you a quick overview. What you're looking at from this side right here is technically what I call the back. So you can see I've got two 4-outlet electrical junction boxes, that cord hanging off the Rock Island 597 vise right there is the cord that basically plugs in electricity, so I just have to plug it in one outlet, and I basically have all that power source to choose from. You can see down here on the right hand side I've got some C-clamp storage. I basically decided to recess that in because I knew myself I'd walk around the table and probably catch a knee and tick off a kneecap, and this helps prevent some of that. You can see I have a grinder rack right here, and of course then some F-clamp storage and some vice grips and things like that. As you can see my welding helmet right here hanging off of it. On this end I have the dry cut saw. I wanted something when I was building this thing so I could have a solid surface across the saw to make cutting along stock easier, and I'll show you the slide out extension on the other side. You can kind of see my old Wells 8M saw in the background that I do my major cutting on, and then using the dry cut saw for thinner stock and tube stock and things like that. As you can see right here, I have the plate base for the saw support, if you will. You can see that it's using 1/2 inch all thread on these pieces right here. So the tube slides into the rail and gets locked down with that black knob right there. And the reason I chose this method is it gave me the option of, since you have that play in there, because I'm using two different sizes of the tubes and there's just some automatic slop that creates by this differential in the sizes, I was trying to find some easy way to compensate for that. It would also give me the ability, should I ever change saws, then I could just adjust that plate and not have to rebuild the whole thing from scratch again. And by using an all thread, you can see on the left hand side here, that basically tilts it up to compensate for that slop, making the top perfectly level, at the top of the saw I should say, perfectly level at the top of the table. The table itself is 38 inches wide, just a little over 60 inches, about 16 and a half, and it's made out of 5/8 plate. You can see that there's tool storage on each end. There's one is a Mac, the other is a Proto toolbox. They are identical except for the pulls, which makes sense since I think they're both owned by Stanley. As you can see, as I come around to this side, I have an air outlet in the center there off the leg, so I just have to plug the one air hose in. You can see my torch holder, which I can either use as is, or I can stick it up here on the top when I'm working. You can see I have a 3-junction air hose connection on this side that allows me to use, for example, here's one going up to a small grinder. The other one I use to connect down to my hypotherm plasma cutter down here, and I get out the filter. And you can see I use this old Craftsman stool here to be able to sit here and weld comfortably. It allows me to adjust it, and that open space right there allows me to get my knees under there, not hit anything, and clear it. Of course, you can see I've got some squares right here, you know, some basically angle plates or magnetic plates to be able to run some things through. On this side, you can see another toolbox. This is where I primarily do most of my what I call go-to storage. I have my air tools in here, some markings. I'll just kind of show you what I've got. So here, some layout tools, some obviously welding pliers, scribe, little calculator for my measurements. And you see a lot of Harbor Freight stuff here, some die grinders. I see some roll lock pads, and you see some grinders, safety glasses, things like that. And on the bottom I got some deeper grinders. The casters are 6-inch casters. I got the casters from Caster City. They're 4 swiveling locking casters. When you lock the casters in place, the table flat does not move, so it's been great. Here you can see under here the 2 black knobs right here. So this is my extension. So if I reach over here, kind of my fingers under here, kind of goes out. I can pull it out so it locks. And I can adjust the height right here up or down. So if I need to make it level with the table or compensate for maybe a curved piece, I can do that. Again, I had the same kind of slop in the fittings between the 2 different size tubes. So what it makes it easier is if I can just pull it out just beyond this level right here, I can basically raise the top up so it's level with the base, or I should say the top of the welding table. And under here, you'll see a black knob. There's one on each side. And there's a slot, which I don't know if you'll be able to see, you can see there, that runs the whole length of the tube, and that allows me then to take out that slot by locking it in place, which keeps it level then with the top as I extend it all the way out. So it gives you, as you can see, from end to end, you can put, for my case, it's the longest I can get are 10 and 12 foot pieces without having to put them on a trailer. I can get them in the back of my truck. I can then basically easily set them onto the top, cut them to length, and it just makes supporting stock so much easier. For me, it has been a huge, not only time saver, but back saver. In fact, here's my old welding table. Let's look over here. You can see the trash been cleaned out a little bit of the garage here. Here's my old welding table, which is this plastic stand right here, full-out stand. There's a little bit of quarter-inch plate sitting in front of what used to be my old tabletop. It's an old stand that I just replaced actually here from the bandsaw. And that was my old top. So you can see I didn't have much to be able to clamp to versus what I have now. And I had, my only other choice was on the ground. So it's been, as I said, a huge, not only time saver and building project with a much flatter top, ability to clamp to it, having something that can beat the living daylights out of something on it and it won't move. And all in all, it's just been a huge, huge improvement to my shop. I had to make it mobile. It is a beast to push, I will tell you that, fully loaded. The first two kind of efforts to get it going do take some effort, no doubt about it. But once you get it rolling, it's actually tough to stop. So it works out really well. And you can see I have to kind of use this wooden ramp out here to get off a little bit of a drop out of my garage. But I'm able to do it by myself. Push this thing in and out. The top weighs around 500 pounds. I'm going to guess the base metal and everything else fully loaded. Probably getting pretty close to, I would have to say, somewhere between 400 and 500 pounds. So I'm just going to call it 1,000 pounds of weight. But on those casters, it actually is a pretty easy thing to roll. Well, hopefully you guys got a little bit of information out that and a little more clarity on the top, or on the whole project, I should say. I appreciate you taking a look. Thank you much.